Check out the brand new How to Become a Better Looking Man course by using the links below. Okay guys, so welcome back to another video. In this video I want to talk about something that I was tagged in. Somebody tagged me on Instagram and said, what do you think of this? And it was a discussion, it's one of those podcasts between a man and a woman. And I think it's like blind dating. They were sitting back to back and they were discussing shit and whatever. And this young girl was talking about how, I'd play the clip, but I've been copyrighted via different platforms before, so there's no point. But she was talking about like, oh, do you have a car? And he was like, well, you know, like dodging the issue, so to speak, right? And then she was like, do you have your own place? Or do you live at home with parents? And he was like, oh, I fucking hate this show, I can't talk. And she just like hit the buzzer, which is almost like this is over. And this guy obviously tagged me in it and was like, what's your thoughts on this? And this is something that I'm so passionate about, guys, and you guys really, really need to tap into this because I'm probably one of the best in this whole generation at being able to handle this. Like, I see that as probably my greatest strength of just being like, not looking rich right now. Yeah, so what? I don't care. Knowing that you're rich, yeah, that'll do it for me. You know, and you guys know that I constantly promote life setup, you know, framing yourself in a certain way that makes your life easier, like early male advantage or something, or giving yourself mini male advantages. It's my own thing and I fucking forgot it, right? But giving yourself mini male advantages so that you look slightly better, you have this in place and it attracts these like more women, whatever. But at the same time, you need to get to that point. And here's what will happen, okay, is I feel sorry for the guys, number one, watching that video, but most importantly for the guy in the video. Because now he's going to sit there and, like, he felt a need to fake that. He felt a real need to be like, shall I lie? No, I don't live with my mum, whatever. And he felt a real need to be like, oh, no, I do have a car, it's just... And the amount of guys that I've met in my life that do that, or even worse, over-leverage themselves so that they can impress that woman, or because they don't like the feeling of not appearing good enough, okay? And this is why I've often said to you guys, and I will say it until I'm fucking blue in the face, the women your age aren't for you, okay? Now, I'm not going down the fucking Jeffrey Epstein route, I'm not telling you to, you know, look into young kids, but here's probably what's going to happen. You're going to be 21, 25 years old, whatever, and all the women your age that are hot and attractive, whatever, they're currently in their prime, they very likely won't want you. Or if they do end up sleeping with you, they're not going to settle down with you, it's just not going to work out. They end up going for a guy who's like minimum 4 years older, who's sorted his shit out, who's, you know, put his life in order early. If she's 22, he might be like 27, 28 years old, he's got his shit together, you're 22 and you're thinking, how can I get her? It's probably not going to happen. Okay? And my rule is to go back to the drawing board. Just sacrifice everything. I literally put a mortgage and a car, roughly like 70 grand, 50 grand mortgage, 20 grand car. I roughly put that back into this business every 6 months or so. In terms of like products, in terms of reinvestment, equipment, paying for different things that the business does. I roughly put a mortgage and a car back in every 6 months. Or at least I have in the last year. Like, I'm walking around and I would appear to be broke. I'm sure there's many women that would be like, oh yeah, I would, but he's not successful. Yeah, I like him, he's in good shape, but I don't know, he's not really earning any good money, he doesn't have a car. And it's like, lady, you can think that all you want. Because at the end of the day, I do have that money, right? But it's not benefiting me. Right? So this is where so many guys go wrong, okay? It's not really benefiting me in the short term. So when guys are like, I'd rather be rich than look rich, you're gonna have a shit life, okay? So you need to tackle it at some point, okay? You need to go and put the features in place. You need to go and buy the nice clothes, have the great life set up, the penthouse with the big terrace balcony overlooking New York. You might need these fucking things in the future in order to build that life setup to get what you want. But when you're trying to get there, I promise you, trying to play that catch-up game and impress a woman who knows nothing about life, okay? Like, with all due respect to women, we do not hate women on this channel. I constantly say that. When women are right, you know, I'll defend them, etc. But when it comes to being life coaches, for example, please do not listen to women, because it's not their fault, but their life's back to front compared to ours, okay? A woman who's 40, 50 years old, have a little listen. Take some advice. She's ugly now. She's been through a couple divorces. I say ugly, right? She's not as good looking as she used to be, okay? That's a fair verdict. She's not in as good shape as she used to be and stuff like that. She values other things rather than just, I'm beautiful, everybody wants to fuck me. She's been through that dip, okay? So she appreciates what it's like to be a man who's in his dip in his early years. But a woman who's like 25 years old, she's known nothing but 9 years, maybe even more. You know, at school, obviously men are still into women at school, even at like 13, 14, 15. But very likely in like the adult world, from like 16, like girls are getting attention from grown men until like 25. She's known nothing but like 9 years of just getting whatever she wants, getting whoever she wants. She doesn't get it. She doesn't understand life, okay? So for a woman to be like, oh, you don't have a car. Oh, you don't. I've got high standard. It's like, we're not going to make that, though, lady. Like the average man, 95, 99% of men aren't going to make that cut. Okay, they're not going to be 25 with 10 million in the bank. It's not impossible. It's very close to, but it's not impossible. Okay? Because as I've often said to you guys, you're not actually 25 years old. If you're a 25-year-old man, you're actually 7 years old. Because it wasn't until 18 where you really could make your own decisions. Before that, your parents are feeding you, taking you places, telling you have to do this, you have to go and do this class, you have to go to this school, we're going to take you here and do it. Like your life wasn't yours, you didn't have any control. So it's until like 18 where you can actually, start your own business, go and get a full-time 9-to-5 job, like a serious one. Like you couldn't do anything before that. So these women are expecting you this kid looked all of 21, 22, 23 years old. So women are expecting him in 5 years, within a 5-year frame, to become a multi-millionaire with a house, with it, because that's what it's going to take. Because I'm pretty sure this was being filmed in London. So in order to get a house, a decent one, because that's the thing, you could have a house and she'd be like, oh, it's disgusting. Right, so to get a decent one, 600 grand. To get a decent car, 20, 30,000. After tax, to be able to actually afford those things with money left and the money that you actually earn, you would have to have earned about 1.5 million. During that time frame. Do you see what I mean, guy? Almost impossible. Not impossible, but almost impossible. And it's absurd because the biggest mistake here, and this is what pisses me off the most, is the way that guys will go, fuck, I need to play catch up. I need to over leverage myself and buy things that I can't afford so that I can get the women now. It's like you're fucking yourself, because all that's going to happen is you're going to get these women temporarily for maybe one fuck, one date, whatever. She's going to quickly find out, oh, actually, this guy's broke. Because if you don't have the money to actually have that house and that car and whatnot, well, you're not going to have a lot spare for holidays, kids, marriage, all the other shit that these women throw at you. Okay, I always tell you guys never to get married, and I stick by that. But a lot of guys will still, they won't listen to what I'm saying, or, their religion might permit that they do anyway. So you've got all these things coming, especially kids and all the holidays, and she wants to upgrade the car once you have kids because we need 5 seats now, like all this shit, right? She's going to find out very quickly you cannot sustain that lifestyle. So what are you going to do? Just lie up front, fuck yourself financially, and then lose the woman anyway? Or do you want to do my strategy where you're very rich, you're very wealthy, you're bringing in a shit ton of money, probably like 10 times more than the average person's wage per month, yet I look broke. I'm the one without the car. I'm the one who's just renting a shitty house. Now, it will all change in the future. I've almost reached like a point now where I'm sick of it. I'm fed up. I want to live now. But I've made the correct number of sacrifices to get to this point. Like I said to you, every time, for example, in the last 2 months alone, I've put about 32,000 back into this business. Back into products, etc. All these other things. That's a very nice car. That's the 3 grand per month penthouse that I was looking at that I showed you guys before. That's pretty much paid up front because they would take that up front as a payment. I wouldn't have to pay the whole thing. I could be in there now. Hey, look at me. I'm a baller. Look at me. I got this beautiful woman in the house. Guys, I'm fucking killing it in life. But in reality, I'd be panicking going, oh, fuck. I've just put all that money into the house. How am I going to restock all my products? Well, I've got to take some of my own money and put it into that rather than using the first man profits. So now I'm going, oh fuck, I've made a decision which has just impacted my own pocket and the business isn't being ran properly. Yeah, I could justify it as an investment because it makes me look better and all this other shit, right? But throughout my life, I've done this. Today was the first time I went to the barber's today. Okay, which might sound strange. Some people think I'm bald because the angle. I lean back, it makes me look like I've got a fucking double chin and shit. But I've got SMP and I thought I'd get it faded on the sides, whatever, and like fade all the beards in, whatnot, and just see what it looked like. So I went and got that done. I've been cutting my own hair for like 9 years. I've got like 5 pairs of shoes now, okay? Back in the day, I used to just have gym trainers and one pair for weekends. You know, like a pair of work shoes as well. Whereas now I've got 5 pairs of trainers. It's like boots, trainers, like different things that I can wear, whatever, because I've built up to that point, right? And for some guys, they'd be like, 5, I've got 50. And this is what I'm saying. This is the problem. All these guys are trying to impress women that they can't keep anyway. If you just want to get her for one night and sleep with her, it's still stupid. Because in order to achieve real wealth for yourself, in order to have a better life for yourself, you want to be reinvesting, okay, guys? Because at the end of the day, these women aren't loyal. They don't stick around. So you go and do the house and you go and do the car thing. You impress her, you sleep with her, whatever. Once you start analysing your own life and you go, but I'm in a 9-to-5 job that I hate, she's going to be like, well, fucking leave then. Like, women don't sympathise. Like, there's 1 or 2 that I've met in my life that have, and they've supported me and stuck by me. But the majority of women would be like, why are you bringing problems to my door? Why are you moaning? Just fix it. Be a boss. Make money. Whatever. And it's like, you might as well just fix your fucking life first before worrying about all that other shit. And as for that woman, like, number 1, she wasn't anything special anyway. But number 2, you cannot put that type of pressure on young men. Oh, if you don't have a car and a hat, it's like, what? I'm sorry, but what are you bringing to the table? Because in my personal opinion, the situation I am in right now, in terms of my physique, in terms of my looks, in terms of height, penis size, in terms of my earnings, whatever, I truly believe I outrank 99.9% of women on this planet. There'll be celebrities that'll outrank me. I wouldn't say rich women outrank me, because I don't really see that as a benefit. I just don't, if they're not attractive, I don't really see the benefit there. But I'd say, a couple of perfect 10s, probably 10s outrank me. Maybe some celebrities, models, whatever, Victoria's Secret, supermodels, girls who have got like hundreds of thousands of followers on social media. Apart from that, I don't really see anybody who outranks me. So when you're saying, oh, you need a house, it's like, what are you bringing to the table? Sex. Because I'm sorry, because once I come, my brain's going to be like, well, I'm out of here. Like, I don't really, like, there's another girl that can provide the same thing. So I think women need to take a little bit of responsibility and start realizing that you're not perfect little princesses. There's a sense of responsibility that you need to deploy in your own life. You can't expect us in 5 years to be multi-millionaires with everything sorted. Like, people like myself are exceptions to the rule. I'm 29 years old and a lot of people on my channel are younger, and they'll look at it and be like, by the time I'm 29, I'm going to be a million. Look, I promise you, in the real world, I've got 30 and 40 and 50-year-olds saying to me, what the fuck have you achieved by 29? Are you kidding? At 29, I was doing nothing. They're like, how the hell are you at the level that you're at? I am an outlier. I'm a rarity. I've sacrificed basically my entire teens and 20s to get to where I'm at. It's very hard to do that. Okay? But so many guys have just got this pressure on them, and they'll take those lump sums. And as I've often said to you guys, those lump sums will make you wealthy. Forget women. Throw women to the side. Fuck women for a second. Those lump sums will get you the house you want. They'll give you the life you want, the freedom you want. You can dress. You can be whoever you want to be. You can keep certain company. Go golfing on the weekends. You can have experiences. You can fly family out and have a nice holiday. All these experiences. You can go fishing with your mates, and have a couple beers and whatever, and go on the river, what is it, Ebro or Ebro in like Spain or whatever, and go catfishing. Like, there's so many experiences that you can have. You can fly all your boys to a villa in the middle of nowhere or something, and just have time of your life. Like, there's so much shit that you could be doing, excluding women from the conversation, when you invest those lump sums. Those lump sums will give you that life, that amazing life where you can travel, you can experience different cultures, different foods, whatnot. You're your own boss. You're not being shouted at by anybody. Women are just like a cherry on top. They're a bonus that you throw in. So using all of your money to prioritize women and be like, but I just want sex. I just want her to like me. It's one of the most insecure things you can possibly do, and it's worst of all, is one of the biggest fuck ups you can ever do, guys. Because if you get, let's say, the 70,000 I've put in the last like 6 months, since it's roughly about August since I put that in. If you were to inject that into a car and a house, well, there's nothing coming the other way now. Okay, so you might get the woman temporarily, but a year down the line, she leaves because you can't sustain it and you've not made smart investments. Then what are you left with, guys? Yeah, you sell the house, great. Okay, the car's depreciated in value. You're not moving forwards at an alarming rate. Where do you go for it? It doesn't give you land. It's not giving you it's not giving you leverage. Whereas me going 70 grand back into the business, I'll just live on £1,000 per month. Fine with me, not a problem. I'll live cheaply. My business is flying forward at an accelerated rate. You've got to, sometimes maybe I make it look easy, guys. I don't know. But you've got to think, in just a year, from roughly March to March, okay? The only reason I was thinking about March, because my dad died in March, and I was discussing with a family member the other day how much I've achieved in that time frame. I was like, wow, is that really a year? I've had a book published. I've got a natural diuretic supplement coming out in the thousands. I've got a men's lifestyle supplement that sells very, very well and is now coming out in a massive bulk in thousands and is going to be a subscription model. I have a fulfillment company in place now who is going to package and deliver everything. My subscriber base has gone from 18,000 to 70,000. At that time, I was just finishing my bulk. Since then, I've done a cut down to 10% body fat. I've gone into maintenance. I went and got SMP. I've gone through another bulk, and I'm currently down to about 12% body fat already on my second cut. There's so much that you can do in this time frame, okay? If you prioritize those lump sums and you keep putting them back in, you keep reinvesting, and you'll rise up those ranks. And then here's the kicker, you'll have both. That's my whole game. That's my whole game, okay? It's why do I not... I've had investors come to me and say, we want to invest in your streaming platform. We want to invest in your supplements, whatever. We could take this to the next level. And I'm like, you will just do what I could do anyway, quicker. Yeah, okay. Don't you want that, Chris? And I'm like, yeah, but if I just wait 2-3 years, I can have the entire pie. So if the streaming platform has 1 million people signed up, that's 5 million per month going into my back pocket. If I had investors and that all gets diluted, it's still good money and it comes in sooner. But for a little sacrifice and waiting a little bit longer, I then have both. I have full ownership and that money anyway. And that reminds me of the situation with women. It's like you can just go without them for now. I'm not worried. Doesn't bother me one bit. Or it didn't in the past. I'm after this video, I'm going off out. I'm going to meet friends. I'm going to meet girls, whatever. I'm going to go and have a bit of fun, bit of food, etc. I've earned that. I've put myself in a great position. I don't have to chase women anymore. They want to be a part of my life, okay? I've only got to this position because I was the guy without the car when everyone else was driving past in a flashy car. I was the guy wearing gym shoes that had a hole in when everybody else was turning up head to toe Gymshark £200 outfit. But I was in the best shape. I was training the hardest. I was doing the correct things. Focus more on the foundation, the results. And if you do get women that are like, oh, you don't have a car? Because a woman would say that to me right now. Oh, you don't have your own place, as in bought and paid for and whatever. Oh, you don't have a car. What are you, a man or a man? It's she'd throw all this shit at me. But guys, I'd know that, in 2 months, I could buy both of those things with just monthly wages. I could go, right, mortgage, car. Why would I do that? To impress her? I wouldn't, because I know where I'm headed. I've got bigger goals than just want to get married, want to attract a woman. In my eyes, once you rise up those ranks, you stop seeing women as the prize. Early on, they're the prize, okay, because you're lucky to have them. But once you start rising up the ranks, you're like, why the fuck would I let you in? Why would I let you destroy any of this? You just take a lot of my time. You take a lot of my money. You make me do things I don't want to do. I might as well just use you. When I'm going on a trip where I want to go for enjoyment, experience, culture, I want to go to this place. Oh, do you know what? I'll just take a woman with me. It's nice to have a bit of pretty company. It's nice to have something pretty to look at with a nice ass. We'll probably have a great conversation and get on and whatever. But beyond that, I'm starting to think in life, I just don't know what women can offer past that. Okay, now, I've had relationships in the past where women have offered comfort, support, all that stuff. If I find that, fantastic. But it's about as rare as finding a rich, in-shape man. It's very rare to find. So I'm not going to look for it. I'm just going to enjoy myself, use women like batteries, that 3-month strategy that I've got. Just enjoy it. Just do what I want to do. And then when you find a decent one, you can bring her into your life. But I'd never marry her and sign my money away and stuff like that. I feel like these guys are just putting women so high up in their priority list. Women are probably like my 50th priority. Okay? I make content on it because people ask questions. It's a common topic. It gets a lot of views. People always talk about it. But in my life, I barely ever think about women. I'm always thinking about my business, my next plan, where I want to go, what I want to buy, where's my next reinvestment coming, what my mate's doing. You know, I just got a couple texts. Oh, this brand just got back to me. Oh, my boxes have just been manufactured. And then a woman will text and I'll just be like, oh yeah, I'll deal with that later. I want to watch that movie tonight. I've been working my bollocks off all week. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to make a drink. I'm going to watch this. I might message her in the morning if I'm free. But I've got the gym. Fuck yeah, I'll message her after that. Do you see what I mean, guys? Like, it's barely ever on my mind in that sense. And to reinvest your lump sums back into a house and a car just because she said, oh, if you don't have a house and a car, I won't go for you. Let these other guys do it. I've watched this for 9-10 years, okay? I've watched other guys outrank me on the surface, but on paper, they're broke. And they'll tell you the truth. I've got friends that do this as well, where they'll be like, yeah, I've got a BMW, but it's broken down at the moment. It's in the garage, you know, it's the new 50 grand one. And the girl's like, oh, wow, it's amazing, but I've just got to use this courtesy car at the moment. You're like, how far can that go? Like, how many months is it going to be? 2, 3 months, 4 months before she finds out and leaves anyway? Like, yeah, you got sex once, twice, great. Wouldn't you rather build the foundation and have it for real? You know, wouldn't you rather be like, not impressed by the car, not impressed by the house in your own personal life? You're more impressed with like the personality of people because you've achieved all of that shit anyway, and you're like, doesn't blow me away anymore. I don't use it as leverage. It's just part of me. I just have it because I like it, or it provides an advantage to my life and I don't have to try as hard to get women. They just come to me. Like, that's cool for me. That's like the gangster guys out there. That's like the proper high level guys that have just added it to their life and they don't even talk about it. You know, they just have like a cool house and it's just like, it's just where I live. But they know it works for them, but it's just where they live. Or they have a really nice car or whatever, and they know it works for them, but for them it just gets me from A to B. Like, I don't even tell people I got it anymore. Like, but so many people are attracted to them because of it. But you don't get to that point, guys, until you've injected those lump sums multiple times, made those sacrifices. And one thing I want to leave you with this weekend, right now, okay, is that the male advantage is so fucking real, guys. The older I get, the more I realize like how real this shit actually is. Like how strong the effect is, okay? We peak later than women. If you try and keep up with women, you will be destroyed. It's like trying to keep up with a cheetah. When they're like 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 years old, you cannot keep up, okay? I've got friends that took out loans just to take girls out on dates. That's like wildly embarrassing, okay? It's super dangerous. Like, you cannot live like that. Whereas I was the guy who would just stay in and be like, I just go womanless. Doesn't bother me. Like, I've had girlfriends in between that time, like real good looking girls that were good women. But in terms of like dating and that sort of thing, once I started my business, I was like, fuck that. I can't do both, okay? I've decided 50 grand a month will be when I can kind of do both, when I can like add the two together. And I've touched just shy of 30 once or twice this year. It's my biggest goal this year, is just to stay in stock. If I can stay in stock, I'm a millionaire by March next year, if not sooner, to be honest, based on net worth. And, you know, when I started my business, I was like, I need that money for me. I cannot inject that into dates. I cannot go and buy a car just to impress a woman or have other people go, hey, he's doing well for himself. Because if I'm not, it all means nothing. It's all fake. I'd rather not be that person. So next time a woman says to you, do you have a car? Who cares if you don't? It just literally doesn't matter. Like, the journey is so fucking tough, guys. It doesn't matter. And I know it's like, yeah, but I want women now. I get it. But you might as well just, if you reinvest those lump sums, if you keep working on yourself, if you build up to something, like, instead of going for good, go for great. Okay, that was my idea from the start. Like, I didn't want the 6s and 7s that were like, oh, have you got a car? Have you got a house right now? I was like, fuck them, whatever. I know where I'm headed. I'm headed to the top. Okay, and I'm going to hit 30 years old, and I'm bang on track for this in August, which is when I turn 30, and I will activate the male advantage. Okay, I'm probably going to do it this summer, like end of March onwards. It's kind of when I decided my life would start, and I'm going to activate the male advantage. I'm going to add a bunch of assets to my life, and then the women that I will be attracting, 9s, 10s, models, whatever, like, that's on the table for me. Okay, great. Is that what life's all about? No, it's just an additional thing, but it's the best version of that additional thing. Behind the curtain, I'm still wealthy. I'm still in fantastic shape. I've still got a business. I've got great assets. This is going well. That's going well. Yeah, everything that I built. The women, like I said, are just a cherry on top of the fucking cake that it took me 10 years to build. Focus on those lump sums, guys, because I promise you, I cannot say it enough. Those lump sums will make you rich. They'll change your life. They'll create freedom. Without reinvesting those lump sums, when you don't have kids and you don't have ties and you don't have all this other shit going on, you don't have high bills, if you don't reinvest those lump sums, you will pay for it later down the line. Check out the brand new How to Become a Better Looking Man course by using the links below.